Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to look at Shanghai Style Zongzi. This is especially great for Dragon Boat Festival or for any special occasion. For this recipe, we need 5 pounds of glutinous rice or sweet rice. You can find a 5-pound bag in any Chinese supermarket. And we're going to need about 75 to 80 dry bamboo leaves or one big bag of this. You're going to need extra because sometimes they tear on you. And you also need rope like this for your zongzi. So you need to prepare this step the night before you make zongzi. So you're going to need to hydrate your sweet rice overnight, and you're going to also need to hydrate your bamboo leaves overnight. So let's hop into it. So if you can prepare zongzi ahead of time, you need to prepare some of the ingredients beforehand. First, we're going to hydrate the rice. And then we're going to add water until it's about 3 or 5 inches above the height of the rice. Now we're going to take this rice and put it to the side. For the next part, you want to get the biggest rectangular tray you can find that can hold the zongzi. We're going to fill this with water. So grab your gallon of water and pour it in. And then we're going to grab our 80 bamboo leaves and just soak them in water. So we're going to just leave this overnight also. For this recipe, you need about 3 pounds of pork belly. You can also use pork shoulder, but whatever tastes the best for you. Now, pork belly has a lot more fat to it, so don't get concerned of all that fat, because that fat juice will get sucked up by the rice, and it will make the rice a little bit more flavorful. All right, let's get ahead and start marinating it. 1/4 cup of light soy sauce. 3 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. 4 teaspoons of salt. 5 tablespoons of sugar. 3 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. 1 teaspoon of white pepper. 1 teaspoon of 5-spice powder. Now we're going to just mix everything up together. And we're going to let this marinate overnight until we're ready to assemble our zongzi. For our rice marinade, we need about 5 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. 5 tablespoons of light soy sauce. 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. 2.5 tablespoons of salt. Grab your chopsticks and mix them up. And set this aside until we're ready to marinate our rice. So it's literally the next day here, and we have our rice completely drained and dried a little bit. Now we're going to pour the rice marinade all over it. So we're gonna let the rice marinate for at least 30 minutes and we're gonna put it to the side. Now here comes the fun part where we gotta wipe down all our bamboo leaves. The bamboo leaves basically have two sides. They have one smooth side and one rough side. Basically you tell the difference by sliding your hand over the leaf. So this side is pretty smooth, as you can tell. And when you move to the other side, you'll see a lot of friction against your finger. So we're gonna, when we fold our zongzi, we're gonna basically put our rice on the smooth side. Now, when you're working with bamboo leaves, it helps that you cut off the stem of this leaf. See, this little portion of the bamboo leaf is very difficult to work with, so just take a scissor and cut about 1/2 inch off the top. So basically, to wrap your zongzi, you basically need 3 hands. One hand to hold your folded zongzi, another hand to twirl the twine around your zongzi, and basically a third hand to help hold the twine as you're folding it. Now, if you're folding your zongzi by your hand and you don't have anyone else to help you out, and you don't want to use your teeth to hold the rope, you basically make a twine contraption like this. This basically is a meter-long rope, and at the top apex is just tied to a rope. And you basically hang this to a kitchen door or a hook, and you basically hold this in the air while you wrap your zongzi. This makes things a little bit easier. This is especially easier for novice people who don't have that much experience making their zongzi. So when you start making your zongzi, have everything laid out. This makes it easier to assemble your zongzis in batches, and it makes quick work. Here, if you have excess marinade in your pork belly, toss it out. You don't want that excess liquid in our zongzis when we start to cook it. The same goes for your glutinous rice. If there's any extra moisture, toss it out. Here, since I'm making the Shanghai style, you can also add roasted chestnuts. You could get them from the grocery market or get them fresh locally if you can. Now, when it comes to folding your zongzi, there's several methods. You basically want your non-sticky side up. Now, there's one method where you basically position your bamboo leaves parallel to each other and offset by one bamboo leaf. There's another method where you just basically have the ends aligned to each other. I prefer this method, but each is their own. So with this method, I'm going to basically fold it up into a cone like this. And then once you form a cone, you basically want the ends parallel to each other like this. And position it into your palm of your other hand. From here, I'm going to just basically fill it up with 2/3 the way of your glutinous rice. And then from here, I'm going to add your toppings, your warrior chestnut, and your pork belly. From here, you can just cap it off with the rest more glutinous rice. After you fill it up, take your thumb and middle finger and pinch the ends while using your other hand to fold it over as such. You're basically covering the top of it with your bamboo leaf. Once you fold it over, repositioning your thumb and middle finger over the top. And with the other hand, you can just basically slightly tighten it and pinch it at the end. And then we're going to wrap it over like this. From here, you just basically grab your twine. Now, I have my twine on my table countertop for demonstration purposes, but normally I would have it up in the air. So take your twine and just wrap it around. Once you reach the end, I'm going to double knot it. There we go. One zongzi. Now this does take some practices, and you're not going to get it right the first time, especially if you're beginning at this. But once you start mastering it, you're going to enjoy doing this and share this experience with the rest of your family. So, there you go. Now here's my collection of zongzi. It's quite a collection. If you could tell me how many I made, put in the section below. So get your water boiling to the maximum temperature. Once it starts boiling, bubbling, turn it down, back down to medium, because we're going to cook it for about 4.5 hours to 5 hours. Next, just drop in your zongzi. Hard part of this is finding a big enough pot that can just hold everything. Once you have almost everything submerged, cover it. And let it cook. Now, constantly monitor this throughout the 4 or 5 hours. Make sure the water doesn't drop too low. And make sure you have the temperature down to medium to low. Now, after cooking for 5 hours on medium-low temperature, the zongzi is finally done. Now, let's take a look at it. Wow. That is awesome. So, let's go ahead and drain the water and let the zongzi cool down to room temperature. Now this has been quite an adventure, and if you found this video informative and useful, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, put in the section below. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Until next time, peace out and happy Dragon Boat Festival.